The story begins with everyday teenage life. A mother is getting ready for work while her daughter films makeup tutorials discussing fresh, dewy looks and eye enhancement techniques. The narrative then shifts to typical teenage interactions, friends gossiping, talking about boys, and making plans. At a donut shop, the friends engage in typical teenage banter. One character, Amber, makes crude jokes about the frosted donuts, while the others react with disgust. The story moves to a domestic scene where a teenager expresses boredom and frustration with being at home. Her mother suggests getting a summer job or helping with her work, but the teenager declines. There is tension about summer reading assignments and the teenager's apparent lack of motivation. The mother has prepared dinner, but the teenager wants to go out, leaving her mother feeling abandoned and hurt. A significant shift occurs when the teenagers are at a restaurant. They're rating girls from their school on a scale of attractiveness, making crude and objectifying comments about their female classmates. The conversation becomes increasingly inappropriate as they discuss physical attributes and make derogatory remarks. The situation escalates when the group tries to leave the restaurant without paying their bill. A confrontation ensues with the restaurant staff, resulting in a physical altercation where one of the girls, Leah, is grabbed roughly. The staff member is aggressive and inappropriate in his handling of the situation, leading to a chaotic scene where the teenagers scatter. This is where Tom first appears. He witnesses the altercation and intervenes, criticizing the restaurant employee for his rough treatment of Leah. When Leah's friends abandon her, Tom steps in, initially respecting her boundaries when she refuses a ride from a stranger. However, he persists, suggesting he'll walk with her to ensure she gets home safely. Eventually, Leah accepts a ride from Tom. During the car ride, they have what seems like innocent conversation. Tom asks about music preferences and makes small talk. When asked directly, he reveals he's 34 years old, while Leah states she's 17. This age gap is significant and concerning, though it's presented matter-of-factly in their interaction. Tom asks for Leah's phone number in case she needs a ride again, which she provides. Back in Leah's social circle, there's typical teenage drama about dating and crushes. Leah claims to like someone from another school, Vista, though her friend Amber is skeptical and tries to get more information. This creates tension as Amber investigates Leah's social media to verify her claims about this mysterious boy. The story reveals more about Leah's family situation. Her mother is dating Glenn, a dentist from Carlsbad, and Leah expresses discomfort with having him over. There's clear tension in the mother-daughter relationship, with Leah feeling displaced by her mother's romantic interests. The mother makes inappropriate comments about wanting privacy, which disgusts Leah. Tom and Leah's relationship develops as they spend more time together. Tom asks philosophical questions about sunsets and life goals, positioning himself as more mature and understanding than her peers. He criticizes the pressure Leah feels from her mother about college and hobbies, suggesting there are different ways to live a good life. When Leah mentions she likes to sing, Tom tries to get her to perform for him, which she refuses. He persists, showing early signs of not respecting her boundaries. Their conversations reveal Leah's family dysfunction. Her father lives in Arizona with a new family that doesn't include her, and her mother's dating patterns create instability at home. Tom shares his own family background, claiming to understand Leah's situation with an absent father. He suggests they go swimming, and the relationship becomes more physical and intimate. The progression shows Tom gradually building trust and emotional connection while isolating Leah from her support systems. The manipulation intensifies when Tom takes Leah to what he claims is his temporary living situation, essentially a trailer or temporary accommodation. He explains his lease was up and that he's looking for a new place, making the situation seem temporary and reasonable. However, the setting is clearly inappropriate for entertaining a teenage girl. Their physical relationship escalates during this visit. Tom provides alcohol to Leah, who admits she typically drinks whatever her friends are drinking, revealing her inexperience. The scene becomes increasingly uncomfortable as Tom talks about feeling connected to Leah and suggests they were brought together by fate. The content in this section becomes explicit and disturbing. The power dynamic is evident as Tom begins to direct Leah's actions and behavior. When Leah's friend Emma unexpectedly encounters them together, it creates tension. Emma's reaction suggests she recognizes that something is deeply inappropriate about the situation. When Tom invites Emma to stay for a bonfire, the dynamic becomes even more uncomfortable as he appears to show interest in her as well. Leah grows jealous, and the two leave quickly. The story continues to reveal Tom's possessive and controlling behavior. He demands exclusivity from Leah, asking, "You're mine, right?" and making it clear he doesn't want her seeing other people. This possessiveness escalates when they are interrupted at his place by another woman. A violent confrontation follows, during which Tom physically removes the woman from the premises. When Leah questions what's going on, Tom gives evasive answers, claiming it's just a friend with relationship problems. His lies become more elaborate as he struggles to maintain his facade, though it's clear he's involved in something far more sinister. Soon, others begin to notice the inappropriate nature of the relationship. A waitress at a restaurant recognizes Tom and discreetly warns Leah, telling her she's seen him there with other girls. When Leah confronts Tom, he becomes aggressive, not just with her, but with the waitress, forcing an apology out of her through intimidation. This incident further reveals Tom's manipulation and his willingness to control the narrative at all costs. Meanwhile, Leah's relationships at home and with friends continue to deteriorate. She has a major confrontation with her mother, lashing out cruelly and accusing her of being unfit to raise children. This moment reflects both typical adolescent rebellion and the effectiveness of Tom's isolation tactics. Within her friend group, the truth about the relationship comes out. The boys make crude and inappropriate jokes about the age difference and the sexual nature of Leah's involvement. One friend, Patrick, makes particularly vile comparisons between older and younger women, reducing the situation to a source of gossip and ridicule. This peer reaction further isolates Leah and increases her dependence on Tom. The climax of the manipulation arrives when Tom convinces Leah to run away with him. He frames it as a romantic getaway, a chance for them to be alone. He even gives her a bracelet engraved with "Chasing the Sunset," referencing an earlier conversation to create a false sense of intimacy and destiny. However, the truth is far more disturbing. Tom arranges for Leah to meet another man for sexual services, framing it as something they need to do for money and for their future together. This marks the final stage of his grooming, transforming Leah from a manipulated girlfriend into a victim of exploitation and trafficking. Tom justifies his actions by weaponizing Leah's emotional vulnerabilities. When she resists, he uses her own words against her, reminding her that she said she wanted to be with him and that she trusted him. This emotional blackmail traps her further, reinforcing his psychological control. The story reaches its tragic end with Leah being left alone with a man who appears to be a regular client, someone aware that this is Leah's first night. It becomes clear that Tom is part of an organized trafficking operation. Leah, terrified and desperate, tries to escape. She makes a phone call, searching for someone to help her, but ultimately, she searches for Tom, who has now disappeared completely. In the final scene, Leah is seen pleading over the phone, saying she misses him. It's a haunting conclusion that illustrates the devastating psychological bonds created through grooming and exploitation. Despite everything, Leah still seeks her abuser, showing the long-lasting emotional damage and manipulation that define her tragic journey. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next video.